Hi everybody, welcome to Learning Unplugged. This is our fifth and final session on a lovely model by Meister, Green and Galford. We're going to be looking at the trust equation for the fifth time. Here is the trust equation. As we've mentioned from the outset, we enhance credibility plus reliability plus intimacy, and then it's divided by the amount of self-orientation we put into the conversation. What we're going to take a look at today is that denominator in the trust equation, and this is self-orientation. And the higher our self-orientation is, the likelihood is that the trust we will have in the conversation will be lower. And that's predominantly because when we live in self-orientation, we're thinking about us at the expense of the other people in the conversation. It's as if we don't care. And we want to make sure we care. It's one of the best ways of building trust. Now, the thing about self-orientation is it's difficult. We're in a conversation. We have to get our point across. We also have to acknowledge and show empathy to the other views around the table. But we're still human. But there are 6 things we can do to make sure our self-orientation drops to a level where people still trust us and we still get our points across. Let's go through them one by one. The first thing is be curious. Ask questions of whoever else is in the conversation with you. Lots of open questions. Get information from them. Build on your questions. Curiosity is a great way to build trust. The second thing to do is to stay calm. And this is really important when we're under pressure. We need to get a result. We've got to make sure that we're calm enough to listen enough and show that we're interested. And it's again a great way of keeping trust. The third way of minimising our self-orientation is quite a simple one. At the start of a conversation, share your agenda. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's my message. Here's what I'm trying to achieve here. Right out in the open, this is what I'm doing. And again, you're reaching out to the other person. You're getting them involved in the conversation. You're giving them an idea of what's coming. Now, the fourth way to minimise our self-orientation is a bit counterintuitive. Think out loud. It's a great way of staying open. You could even just put it into the conversation. Listen, I'm just thinking out loud here. Maybe it would be a good idea if we did X. And again, we're keeping the conversation flowing. We're staying open. And we're also saying that we're thinking rather than putting an idea across. And again, we're thinking about the other person as much as ourselves here. The next thing to do is, when we're in the conversation, we get asked a question, keep your answers brief. I'd best not elaborate on that really. Keep it brief. Make it easy for them to understand you. And the final point when it comes to minimising self-orientation is, if you're in a meeting and there are time constraints, check them and check them regularly. If you've got a half-hour meeting, let's say you're halfway through. Hey, Paul, listen, we've only got 15 minutes left. What have we got to do to make sure we cover the meeting's objectives? That shows that you're thinking about the conversation as a whole, about them, and making sure that everybody plays their part in getting a result. So there you go. 6 really good ways to minimise our self-orientation. And the lower our self-orientation is, the more likely we're going to be trusted by everybody else in the conversation. You might want to pick one of those to focus on initially and then go to the next one, the next one, the next one, all the way through to doing all 6. Let me know how you get on in the comments below. And if you want to know a little bit more about Learning Unplugged and my work in general, you can take a look at the YouTube channel, which is Paul Tran Trainer, or the website, which is ptps.co.uk. Have fun minimising your self-orientation to get more trust. And I'll see you soon on the next Learning Unplugged.